ones that do all of that for us, you know.
Sherry, do I have you on here?
Oh, okay.
Let me get you on here, Sherry. If I can. Where are you? I got you. Cool. Your ad. Hey, it's Friday night. It's 9:00, and it is time for the Burning River Browns Talk. Thank you for joining us. It is a part of the Fanatical Elves Network, which is a subsidiary of the Fans First Sports Network. Hi, we have a special guest here, Amelia Chapman. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I'm here with Sherry, Browns fan girl, who's also the host of Breezy Browns Talk on Wednesday nights. Thank you for joining us, guys. We appreciate it. And we got some Browns talk to do. But actually, a story broke today was the Deshaun Watson's recent allegation. The investigation was concluded. I actually have the article here from ESPN. I'll read from it verbatim. We can talk about the Browns Steelers game. And Amelia's here. She's more of a wrestling person, but I'm gonna get her involved in a different way on this.
Of course.
Yeah, because we talked about the whole. You're familiar with the concept of kayfabe, Amelia?
No, go ahead. Tell me.
Kayfabe?
Yeah.
You never heard of kayfabe?
Mm-mm.
You didn't know there was a wrestling term?
No, I did not.
It's a wrestling insider term. It's carnival talk. Carney talk. Yeah, it's basically be fake.
Okay.
So I'll explain it, and I'll explain how I'm going to tie everything in. And also, we got, like I said, we got the Browns Steelers. There's some trash talking happening. It's always good to have when the rivalry game happens. The Browns have not swept the Steelers since 1988. Yeah. The last time they beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh was in January of 2001. So it's not easy to do there, and they're playing in Pittsburgh at 1:00 on Sunday. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, I want to thank all the fans for joining us. Yes. Thank you for the likes, the comments, share, and like, comment, share, and subscribe. We enjoy having you here on Friday nights. We enjoy the feedback. I was going to say one other thing. Check out the sponsor, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. It's in the details of the show. Click on it. Great coffee. Enjoy it. Sherry, let's go to you first. How are you doing tonight?
Good. I was watching a little bit of the Boise UNLV game before it came coming on. That field, yikes! It is hard to watch.
Blue field? Is that blue field?
It is. I'm not a fan, but it's very unique. It's distinctive. You remember, the Boise Broncos.
Boise State. Let me ask you this: what channel is that on? Because I could put it on here. Is it on ESPN or?
I don't remember.
All right,
I want to say it was on one of the.
Ashton Genti. Oh, here it is. It's on Fox.
Oh, okay, Fox. I knew it was one of the top channels. I think Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is currently on NBC.
Is it?
One of those favorites.
Or ABC.
It is on. No, ABC is the AAC, the ACC championship game, and I don't know who's playing in that.
Army was
Rudolph is on NBC. ABC is showing. Who is this?
Army.
Army in Tulane. Yeah, the AAC.
Yeah.
Army in Tulane. Nice. But that blue field for Boise State. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'll be the turf of the new Brown Stadium when they.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? What?
They make it orange or something.
Yeah, orange. But it would just be really funny and obscure if they just picked that shade of blue. Like, well, it was on sale.
Yeah, it's on sale. We had to buy it. We got a good deal for it per square foot. It was nice. One guy knew a guy.
A guy knew a guy. Exactly.
A guy knew a guy. We got a deal. So just deal with it. Okay. Then we got also as a guest here. Thanks for joining us, Sherry. I always appreciate having you on with us. Amelia Chapman, thank you for joining us. How are you this evening?
Doing good. Trying not to freeze in Florida. Can you believe that we got into the low 30s here?
Oh, poor you.
It is.
We
Wow,
have a
that
foot.
is
I have
frigid.
over a foot of snow, and it's like 10 degrees
Oh,
outside.
I'm used to it because I'm from Texas, so I'm used to this weather. So it's really not cold for me. People are like, "Oh my God, it's so cold here." I'm like, but you don't know cold until you've been to Texas or up north.
Well, no, yeah. You want to know cold?
Yeah.
Sit in a Browns game when they're playing the Steelers and the wind's blowing and the
Mhm.
snow
know.
is
All
flying.
directions. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun game to be at because we won. But
Mhm.
it's just
Yay!
like, yeah. But it was like sitting there in the snow, and I'm covered in snow, just like this,
Oh no.
it's blowing all over me.
Snowman.
Yeah, my
Literally.
beard. That's why I'm glad I
Right?
grew out my beard.
Mhm.
Um, all right, perfect. So let's go ahead and let's dive into this Deshaun Watson story because it's a Texas. It was actually in Texas. There was a settlement long before this, but the league concluded their investigation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a present. I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to read this. Did you see this story at all, Sherry?
I saw on Fox 8, they did a blip, just a quick blip.
They did a quick blip. Yeah, let me go here. The NFL ends probe of Browns Watson latest sexual assault case. And this is Daniel Oyefusi. I hope I said his name correctly. Daniel, if I butchered your name, I'm sorry. All right, let's just read this. The NFL has ended its review of sexual assault allegations that were levied against the Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson in September, a league spokesperson told ESPN. The spokesperson said that there was insufficient evidence to support the finding of a violation of the personal conduct policy. So he's not going to get suspended again, which would have helped the Browns because they could have avoided his contract. Right? Right. One day after the Browns season opener, a new lawsuit was filed accusing Watson of sexual assault and battery. In October, lawyers for both sides told ESPN that the case had been resolved. Attorney Tony Busby, who represented the woman who was suing Watson, told ESPN that there was a confidential settlement. He just paid her to go away because he has the money to do it. According to the lawsuit, which was filed September 9th in Harris County, Texas, the alleged actions occurred in October 2020 before Watson and a woman identified as Jane Doe in the court filing were set to have dinner at her apartment. Watson was a member of the Houston Texans at the time. Watson denied the allegations in a statement issued by his attorney, Rusty Hardin. The NFL has been reviewing the complaint under the personal conduct policy, but the league did not place Watson on the commissioner exempt list because there have been no formal charges filed, and the review had just begun. Watson, 29, served an 11-game suspension in 2022. We all remember that after the move, after more than 24 women accused him of sexual assault and inappropriate conduct during massage sessions. A pair of Texas grand juries declined to pursue criminal charges against him, but he served his suspension after the NFL and the NFL Players Association reached a settlement in his disciplinary matter. He also he was required to pay a fine of $5 million, undergo mandatory evaluation, behavioral experts, and follow the suggested treatment programs before being reinstated by the league. Watson settled 23 of the 24 lawsuits filed against him in the summer of 2022. The lawsuit filed in September was unrelated to the two remaining active lawsuits, one from summer 2022 plus another filed that October from women who accused Watson of sexual misconduct during massage sessions. That read a little bit weird. Watson started 7 games this season before sustaining a season-ending right Achilles tendon tear in week 7. He has posted the lowest total QBR in the NFL, which is he had a shitty season. So that's pretty much it. That was just that broke today. I had to bring it up.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts, Sherry?
Yeah, like I said, I didn't see it. I put on Fox 8 around, I don't know, 4 or 5, whatever. And they brought it up, and it's just like everything has been resolved. And I'm like, all right.
Well, yeah. The Deshaun Watson divorce is happening from the Browns. It already is.
So that's ultimately what would make me happy.
Yeah, he played like shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't play well. He didn't play well at all. I'll give it that. Amelia, go ahead. What is your thinking on this?
I think that, because he's already been sued multiple times, these ladies are like, okay, well, he's already been sued for this. Might as well take him for some more money since.
Yeah. Do you think it's a money?
Yeah, it's a money maker for these ladies.
On this very show, I think at the time we had Lysandra.
Mm-hmm.
Lysandra. I don't know if have you met Lysandra?
Yeah, I've seen her on the show when I watched you guys with her.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I pretty much said, "Hey, Brian, thanks for commenting. Hey, thanks." I pretty much said to her when I read the allegation, I read the report, based on the description that woman gave,
Yes.
I said, what did I say? This is a crime.
Mhm.
This is a crime. Where are the police? First thing I said. And even like kind of Lysandra was a little bit surprised that I said that, but I was like, it's like, it's a crime.
When you accuse assault like that in the manner of
Yeah.
way she described, which was very graphic, and stating she had video of said incident.
Yes.
Where's this video?
Right.
The video is probably him
Exactly.
coming into the apartment saying he was there, proving he
Right.
was there, but proving he was
Right.
there doesn't prove what happened inside.
Exactly.
Mhm.
No.
So there's two different things. There's a burden of proof, and in a criminal court, you have to be like 90% certain.
Absolutely.
Versus I want to say civil court where it's 50
Mhm.
or something like that.
Yes.
Okay. Back to it. So going back, I'm going to go on here and I'm going to do a mea culpa for me. And I'm going to say this is that I was always putting over how good this team was. I did it before the season in 2023, and I was right. Despite the injuries, they made the playoffs. In 2024, I was wrong. And when I had Jack Duffin on here a few weeks ago, you remember, I went, what did we get wrong? Because him and I were in agreement on a lot of stuff.
Right.
He said Watson underperformed, Cooper underperformed, Jed Wills underperformed. A lot of injuries still caught up to the offense. And I'm going to say this. I was wrong for at least the first 8 games before. I think, wasn't it week 8 when they were 1-7 and Jameis Winston took over as a starter when they played Baltimore and they beat them. And then since then, if they win on Sunday, since Winston took over, there'll be a 500 team. Plus, that was the healthiest the offensive line was with DeJuan Jones playing left tackle. Who's to say what's going to happen next year? But I said this with DeJuan Jones at left tackle and this team, if we played the Cowboys with Dak Prescott, okay, if we played the Giants and if we played the Raiders, we'd win all 3 of those games with Winston at quarterback. All 3 of them. Handily. We would have won. We definitely would have. We'd probably have about 6 wins right now instead of 3. But ifs and buts are squirrels and nuts. Do you agree with me on that, or do you think? What do you think, Sherry?
I think it makes much better sense. He really has an elegant way about him of
Meaning
preaching.
Winston?
Of getting his guys riled up and in a positive manner, to which he plays upon, positivity and his faith and just spreading that good will toward, his players, his offense, who actually seem like they want to play with him and they're happy to play with him and they want to play good for him. And that's just been an observation of my own. I could be 100% wrong, but it just kind of seems that way to me. So I feel like they'd be willing to go play harder for someone who you have good feelings for and you care about. And his message is so genuine.
Yeah. I think he's an easy person to like.
Absolutely. And I've said it before, it's very difficult to find anything likable about.
Are you familiar with Jameis Winston, Amelia?
Well, I know that with a team like that, you can, as long as you have good players, you get along, you can play well. And then now with Dak Prescott not being with the Cowboys, I think they have a better chance.
Oh yeah, and
because he's injured, he's on the injured list. I didn't know if you know that he's not going to be able to play for with the rest of the team for the whole year. He's out. I didn't know if you knew that. And
he's out. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, and with a lot of the quarterbacks getting injured like that, I think that I don't know what's going on with the league. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah, I noticed that too. Ethan, that's a good point. I like, did you see this point? Yeah, because the offense was catered to Watson and Watson wasn't performing. And we said there's a second part to that.
Not
He
at all.
said Winston had some issues of his own, but he seems to have righted his ship. He throws interceptions. He's a gunslinger. It's a part of what he does. But go ahead. You were saying, Amelia?
Yeah, as I was saying, with a lot of the quarterbacks, as long as the team knows what they're doing, they get along and they play well. And
I hear a dog.
Yeah, that's my.
Is that yours or is that? She has a dog too.
Yeah,
I just have the little one. If he made a noise like that, we'd be at the EVET.
That's my Brady. He's my bigger dog. He's my rescue. Yeah, if everybody was to like come together and everything like that and say we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this as a team, then I think that team would prosper and everything. And say we're gonna go out together, we're gonna do this together, and if we're gonna win, we're gonna win. If we're gonna lose, we're gonna lose as a team. But let's try to do this as win, and have a better chance.
Yeah, absolutely. This team. Let's see. It was this. I'm taking words personally from back in college in Tampa. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yes, the crab legs, the whole crab. I got my crab legs.
Well,
that was at Florida State in Tallahassee.
Because Publix is so expensive to begin with.
It is. It's getting worse.
This is before the inflation. This is before the Biden inflation. Jeez.
I went to go buy a bag of chips at Publix. So would you believe a bag was $7 for just Lay's?
Oh yes, I know. My sister tells me all the time.
Regular potato chips, not
Lay's chips, $7.
Publix is the pricey store down there, but they're the good one. I just even remember like my time at Florida Atlantic, just going to Publix and just getting fleeced. So we'll try to avoid it. We went to the other stores.
There was Publix in North Carolina opening up before we left. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great, beautiful, wonderful store, but you gotta have a budget before you go in there. Otherwise, you get fleeced.
There was the Food Lion.
I remember Food Lion.
I remember Food Lion.
But I always called it Lion King.
I loved their logo. I don't know why, but I loved it.
Yeah,
me too.
But the other one was Harris Teeter was a good store, but I think they went out of business in North Carolina. I always liked those.
Were you around for Winn-Dixie?
I am. I do go to Winn-Dixie. Okay. We save money there, actually.
Well, yeah, they're the affordable store.
Yes. Yeah. And every time we spend money, we get money back, and we can use it toward our groceries.
Oh, okay.
So which I love it.
All right. Now I'm going to go into an explanation. A little segue here. Here we go. Always say Publix.
Yeah, Ethan knows.
Publix is very expensive. Food Lion is always missing something basic when we shop there.
Yeah, he's in Virginia.
He's in Virginia too. Yeah. I love it. All right, let's go into the concept of kayfabe. All right. So I kind of gave you the lot. No, there's a lot of terms in wrestling. The term mark.
Yes, I remember that. Mark.
Heel, that all came from the carnivals. Well, pro wrestling originally in the post Civil War carnivals. And kayfabe is Carney for like be fake. Okay. Check out the comments here. Jeez.
She's laughing.
Thanks, Posh. All right, let's just show this. Yeah, Posh is laughing about something. I don't know what. Okay. What it actually means is, for instance, if we kind of want people to believe in the show and believe in the product that's in the ring and it's in front of the cameras. And if there's two guys that are having a blood feud, or two guys that are feuding with each other. Let me think. What's a big one like Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa or whatever? You know what I mean? But you're not going to see them eating at a restaurant together.
No, you can't. You can't even see them driving in the same car.
Right. That is kayfabe.
Yes.
Okay. Don't insult your audience.
Right. No, you can't.
Don't insult their intelligence. Don't lie to them.
No.
Don't deceive them. Don't ruin it for them. And I was going back and I said this to John on Monday, because for instance, if I say things and I write things and I'm presenting a product and creating content, and if I'm wrong, I got to come out and say, okay, I'm wrong. And this is why, and this is what I'm going to learn from it. Because we all make mistakes.
Oh, of course.
We all do that. And that's why I kind of did that mea culpa moment saying, yeah, I'm kind of realizing, but I think Ethan even agrees with me. If we didn't have Watson on this team, we probably would have won at least 3 or 4 more games than we are where we're at now. And I think everybody else would agree with that. We're better than our record. And even Troy Aikman said this Monday night when we were in Denver playing, said they're not playing like a 3-win team.
Right.
He said that. So that tells me a lot. Going back to it, I made an example of this, and John kind of got uneasy when I did this. And this isn't politics. I'm not being politics, but this is truthful. Think about that first presidential debate in June.
Right.
It was Trump and Biden. Former President Trump, current President Biden. That was almost 6 months ago. Wow, time has flied.
I know, right?
Right. And what is this?
That is true.
Said Watson is
sure
the
did.
albatross. Yes, Watson is an albatross for now. He is. Okay, so let's go to that. You remember what was leading up before that? What people in news outlets were saying about Biden? They were they're saying that he wasn't mentally capable, he was senile, he had dementia, he's not right. All those are conspiracy theories. He's great, he's fine, he's cogent. They were saying that. They were saying that. And this is factual. This isn't political. This isn't factual.
Right.
What happened after that debate? You know, the man behind the curtain was exposed.
Oh, yes.
In the Wizard of Oz. People saw for what it was, and they went, whoa, yeah. It was so bad. Within a month, within 5 weeks later, by July, he was forced out, and they brought in the vice president. And she never won a primary. She never had a Democrat voter, and she never won a delegate. And she had to go out there and do a campaign on short notice, which was doomed from the start. I mean, it probably wasn't going to work. And all these polls that were coming out were kind of bullshit polls.
Oh, yeah.
Saying that it was going to be close or saying this. So guess what? They killed their credibility twice. If I kill Mike, if I didn't come out and just like I just did and say, yeah, I was wrong and this is why. And this is what I think. This is what I've learned. This is how I've grown from it. If I don't do that, I'd lose my audience. Well, what's happening now? A lot of these news outlets, they're losing their audience.
No, absolutely. They're
losing their audience because they weren't honest or up front with there. So that was my point. That's the point of kayfabe. Yet all the wrestling fans know it's a show. They know, but don't ruin it for me.
No, right. But you did keep one promise, though.
What's that?
You sent me an autograph picture.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
That picture actually. That was the night. That was awesome. The night of my first title defense as the NWA National Heavyweight Champion. It was in Knoxville, Tennessee. It was in Knoxville, Tennessee. I defended my belt.
I had to show this on the air, so thank you.
Yeah,
so
that
much.
same belt.
Cool.
That same belt. It's a replica of it though. It's right behind me that I defended.
No.
It's one of them. Yeah, it's one of the belts that are up. You can't really see them too well unless. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it.
I had to show it. I had to show it on live TV.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Let's just. What is this? Brian said absolutely would have at least 3 more wins for sure. So I think a lot of fans kind of see this too. Like, okay, we're a better team. And Watson is an albatross. I think the contract is an albatross. Now, what I also heard, if you going back to the Watson thing, and me just admitting, okay, I was wrong. This is what I was wrong about. This is what I've learned. That's the opposite of pride, which is humility. A fan of Lou. Are you a fan of Lou, Posh?
I think Posh totally is.
Well, I know Amelia is. It's actually Amelia found me on the Stew Pop before she even knew about my wrestling career.
Yeah, I did.
So did Sherry. Yeah, I started getting famous doing stupid jokes on there. Midget fart jokes is what I was doing.
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh, I have to friend him. He's hilarious.
Me and Corey. Yeah, Amelia's been on our show a couple times. So is Sherry. We did an episode. It was a watch along of
that was
Am I
fun.
Racist? That
was a lot of fun.
We did that watch.
That was great. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's like this is a joke for Amelia. Did you know this is a joke?
Okay.
Just go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. Do you know how many Mexicans it takes to screw in a light bulb?
Not how many.
Only one.
Only one.
Hey,
all right, that was good. That was good.
That one.
Yeah. Hey. I knew you. She's Mexican. I can do that. It's cool. So I do Jewish jokes with Sherry. It's fine. It's fine.
That's so funny.
All right. Back. Where was that with the Watson thing? The albatross. Well, Nathan Zagura. Do you know who he? I don't think you'll know who he is because he's He's an employee of the Cleveland Browns. Okay. He does the Cleveland Browns daily radio show as an employee of the Cleveland Browns. He does the radio broadcast of the games with Andrew Siciliano. So you have Zagura and Siciliano doing the game. So he is an employee of the Cleveland Browns. So if he goes on the radio and says anything, he has to be careful about what he says and how he presents
absolutely,
stuff.
they do. Yes.
He pretty much said the same thing I just did, but in maybe a little bit better of a way. But he described Deshaun Watson's play as a spam sandwich.
Oh dear.
Yeah, spam. He said spam. He couldn't say shit. I could say shit. He can't say shit.
Yes, Ethan's on it. Ethan is on it always.
Compare Watson to a spam sandwich. Yes, but it kind of tells you if the team's letting him say that, because he wouldn't have done that unless he had to go ahead to do it.
Right. Yeah. He has to
If the team's saying that, and Watson's pretty much social media silent since his Achilles injury.
Yeah.
The divorce is happening. It's just a matter of how because from what I understood, like the owner said, he's not firing the GM and the coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. And there's not a problem with the culture of the team. And actually, a lot of the players that the GM has brought in since 2023 has been contributing, doing pretty good. Even 2022. Once you go past more than 3 years.
Sorry, I'm reading what Ethan wrote. Yeah, he's gone radio silent too.
Yeah. So Leroy Bickerstaff was like his burner. Yeah.
It was nonsensical, but it was very funny. Very funny.
That was funny. But okay, where the hell was it? But okay, anyway, when
Nathan
you look back,
Segura spam sandwich.
The spam sandwich.
And the GM and the coach are staying. So that tells me too is more or less the owner's idea to bring him in and pay this contract. So the owner's like, he's doing the mea culpa.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Haslam's doing the mea culpa. Who's the owner of the Pilot Flying J's rest stops? That's him. He owns those. And he, I think if you're a multi-billionaire and you're putting all this money in this team and all this investment with a new stadium, with a practice facility upgrades, and you're doing all this and you're putting hundreds of millions of dollars on that field, wouldn't you sit down with the people running the team and just go, all right, we won 3 games. This isn't going well. What are we going to do to fix it? What's the plan? That seems to be the prudent thing to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just to see what they say. So I think,
put all the players' pictures down and say, okay, let's see who we're going to keep and who we're not going to keep.
Yep.
Yeah, Barry's wide receivers Jerry Jeudy trade looks like he's a genius because he got Jerry Jeudy for a 5th and 6th round pick. Mm-hmm. And Jerry Jeudy, he's like number 5 receiver in yardage right now in the NFL.
Yeah, his game in Denver was that was like a comeback game. That was he
ripped off truck drivers. He's got lots of fans.
Well, true.
There was a rebate scandal, and it wasn't him. It was his employees that did that, and he paid all the fines for it. Yeah, I've heard that. I know, right? Like within a month after he bought the Browns, his offices get raided by the FBI because of a rebate scandal.
How Browns is that though? If
all
you were
this
to
shit happens. Yeah,
if you were to predict something that would happen of a new owner, on the roulette wheel of what strange and shady things could happen to the Browns.
Yeah.
New ownership. Let's see. FBI raid.
Which one should we do?
Uh-huh.
Right. That's what true. That was God, that was 13 years ago. He's owned the team like 13 years. Yeah. Wow. So you bring that up, Ethan. That's fine. I mean, if it's the truth, it's the truth. I don't mind it so much. All right. Now, kind of that's where things are at. So we got this game against Pittsburgh. We beat them the last time we were here. We got this game. Are you familiar with the trash talking between George Pickens and Greg Newsome?
Well, I know that it's like, who's better than this team, or am I better than you? Things like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
That part I like. He was like the oracle. I like the oracle.
Yeah, the homeless guy told him to draft Manziel. Yeah, that's always good to listen to the homeless people.
I love that story.
Yeah, how did that work out? Jesus. Yeah.
What about all these quarterbacks getting injured and all these guys getting injured? Do you think they're doing it on purpose, or do you think they're doing it just to get all the good guys out, to get all the newer guys in, the rookies?
The rookies, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. If I was, I think Dallas is going to be the next team to fire their head coach.
Mm-hmm. That's what I hear.
I think next? College.
Well, Mike McCarthy, he could. He could end up in a college. I heard this rumor too that the University of North Carolina reached out to Bill Belichick
Yeah.
to be their head coach.
Wow,
Yeah.
no.
Or even
UNC.
Dallas is going to be the reach.
The Cowboys
Dallas
with Belichick. Ooh.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yep, I heard that too.
Yeah, that'd be interesting too.
Yeah.
That is juicy and spicy.
I tell you, when I was like, because what I like to do different what other content creators or reporters do is I talk with fans and I kind of get their feel for it and I report it that way. And true, Bill, it's true. Bill talked to UNC. Yep, Chapel Hill. Yep.
Wow.
And I tried to talk to fans. And one guy said, "Well, I heard Belichick was going to be the GM and Nick Saban was the coach." I'm like, no, Nick Saban's retired. He's not going anywhere. Yeah,
that's funny.
Coach Prime to Dallas. Oh no, Deion Sanders.
Can you imagine?
With Shadir Sanders as their quarterback. Oh, they can have him. They can. I don't want any of those guys.
That's a whole lot to have to deal with the personalities, you know? Like
yeah. Who's the quarterback in Georgia? I heard about.
I know who you're talking about. He plays for Kirby Smart. I forgot.
Yeah. I'll get it. Hold on.
He is good though.
Yeah, he's good, but I don't think he wouldn't be a guy that would be drafted today. Carson Beck.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, he'd be drafted, but he wouldn't be like a guy to come in and be day one starter. He would basically sit for a year. He'd be like a Jordan Love project type. Yeah. That's what he would be if we drafted him. Instead, we got him in the third round. We did that, or they could wait until next year and try to draft Drew Aller from Penn State, which I think he's a kid from Medina.
He is spicy, he is good.
Well, if we have the draft capital, we can make the move to go up and get him if we wanted to. So I'm not sure what is going to happen, what they're going to do, but you think about it. What I'm hearing about with Watson was if they wait till June 1st of 2026 to cut him, he's going to be on the PUP list this year. They're going to pay him. Then that cap pick can be spread out over 26 and 27, and they get out of it. And they don't have to worry. They could keep Jameis Winston for a couple of years, draft a kid, and then move the kid along with his rookie contract, which would be nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he said most QBs are a reach. Yeah, I agree, including Cam Ward. But I would honestly tell me this. Sure, wouldn't you want to see this team like draft a quarterback and try to develop him? Because I haven't seen Stefanski Barry try to do that.
For sure, yeah.
Whether it's a guy like
they never had a blank slate.
No,
they've always had guys that have been started to be developed by other teams and coaches. Right. So I would very much enjoy to see what they could do.
Well, look who's been here at quarterback since Stefanski was here. Who started? We had Baker Mayfield. What was the other one? Case Keenum.
Mm-hmm. And then we had Jacoby Brissett.
He's
seasoned, and
Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, DTR, PJ. They've all been productive, but Watson this year just completely shit the bed. There's no other way to look at it. It was just terrible. I'm liking the comments, guys. Thank you.
My son was like, "Mom, since you don't have a team anymore, you should go for the Browns." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's funny you should say that because you're not the only one that told me that."
Yeah, we're just trying to plant little seeds.
Yeah, go for the. Did he really say that to you?
Yeah, he did. He's like, and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna be studying some more." He goes, "Well, Mom, this year's almost over, so you should start."
Yeah, you're fine. Again. You're fine.
Yeah. You could come on. You could come on and talk. I mean, I was just tying it in with some wrestling.
No, he
talk
said,
too.
He goes, "Mom, but don't worry about it because Watson's not going to be there." Like,
no. Well, he might be on the team next year with the Achilles injury. I don't think he's.
Yeah, that's what he said because it was a really bad injury, and I was like,
yeah.
look at all these quarterbacks getting injured. This is ridiculous.
Nobody even touched him.
Nobody touched him
when that happened. It was his own. He just stepped weird, and all of a sudden you could just see it. It looked like
it was so gross.
It looked like a window shade rolling up. It was like, yee.
Yeah, we saw that, and I was like, oh my God, did you just see that?
Ethan, I'm trying to keep up with you here. You said you should be in this draft. I'm hearing Aller might stay at Penn State or go in the transfer portal and play college one more year to be a first-round pick. He'll be a second or third-round pick this year, but I'm hearing that. That's what I'm hearing. We need Stefanski guy, not run Stefanski's offense. I don't know what he means by that. Let's see.
We need a Stefanski guy or something. I guess we need somebody like him.
We broke the offense for Watson. Well, they're doing good with Winston.
Mm-hmm.
the run game of Dorsey is trash. Well, the run game's trash just because the line.
Oh, I
was
think
awful
he
in
meant
Buffalo.
he needs a Stefanski developed guy to run
Somebody
Stefanski's
like
off.
him.
Like an
what we
offensive
were talking.
coordinator. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
like
Yeah.
Oh, like a quarterback.
Stefanski developed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leader.
That's something they haven't done.
Right.
That's something they haven't done yet, which would be interesting. And I think from what I'm also hearing too, I remember like before the Pittsburgh game when I was down there, I was looking on my phone and I saw the news breaking that Stefanski's staying for 2025.
Sure.
And just like,
no doubt.
there was this, I said, okay, that tells me the Watson deal wasn't his doing or Barry's doing.
Right. That came, I think, straight from the pocketbook.
Yeah. The guy signing the check. So you're going to listen to him. And they tried to make it work. You can't say they didn't try. They can't say they
try and then just.
Sometimes shit doesn't work.
Yeah.
Sometimes shit doesn't work. Yeah. The run game was awful in Buffalo. I think, I had the guy Hampton, UNC running back. Did you see that article I wrote? Omarion Hampton. He's a UNC running back because there's a lot of talk about Ashon Genty from Boise State, but he's going to be like a top first.
Right now. Sorry,
he's playing right now.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking Omarion Hampton is the guy the Browns would draft in the second round because he's bigger, he's stronger, and he plays against higher level of talent in college. He played in the ACC versus the Mountain West Conference.
Sure.
Because I want to see Ashon Genty in the college football playoffs, which would be more like closer to NFL level talent. But I don't see the Browns drafting a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. If they do draft one, I could see 1 third round and beyond. We have 2 third-round picks. If maybe Carson Beck's there, they might take a flyer on him, bring him along, see how he does. They'll know if he's picking stuff up or not. We'll see, but that's just my thought on that. So I think
go ahead. You need to take a break for a word from our sponsors.
Are we that far in already? I start talking too much. You know what? I think you're right, Sherry. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. How about them sponsors?
They're pretty great.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding me because I started talking.
You're welcome.
Well, now that we broke off where they're going to futures, let's talk about the near future. What are you thinking Sunday?
Oh, I am nervous.
Well, I'll be watching it by myself at my father-in-law's.
Okay.
Because I'm going to house sit for him.
Okay.
He's not going to say where he lives, but he's it's 21-0 Boise State over UNLV.
Wow, that's a shellacking. Yikes!
Right now, halftime. Yeah, that blue field throws everybody off.
It does. It really does.
But I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to sit there and I'm just going to see what happens. Zero expectations. I want to just see effort. I want to see effort.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Amelia?
I'm just hoping that they do win because I think they've been given too much horrible talk. I mean, come on, give the team a break. I mean, every team deserves a good, say we're gonna win, we're gonna do this. Quit giving them such bad, mojo as they say. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Cleveland is a great team. They're gonna win, and we're gonna do this.
All right. And it would be amazing to see them. They haven't swept the Steelers since Die Hard came out live in the theater. So we're talking the regular season of 87/88. So could you?
Sorry, I missed that.
That would be.
Yeah, we haven't swept them since '88. That would be monumental.
I think the Steelers are giving too much. Everybody's giving them too much big
credit.
Get credit, we're the Steelers, we're gonna win every game, blah blah blah. You know what? No, stop that. Everybody, they need to lose every now and then. Come on,
knock them down a couple pegs.
Exactly, please.
Sure.
Well, we were the last team to beat them. So that was on November 21st, and it was a game that looked like it was happening in a snow globe, which was fun. I'm sure it looked fun to watch on TV. It sucked when you're sitting there because this was funny. I'm sitting there with everybody, and they're going, we. God, I wish we had a dome. I'm not kidding.
Right?
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
People just
of course.
They're freezing their asses off, and they're like,
now's the time to have that umbrella, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that too, Ethan. The last regular season win was in 2003.
Yep.
Wow.
But I count that
Good.
playoff game, even though it was COVID and the stadium was empty, we still beat them there.
Well,
Nobody gave
yeah.
us a chance in that game. As soon as that ball went over Roethlisberger's head, I went, wait a second, that doesn't happen to us. That doesn't happen in our favor.
Oh, heck yeah. Ultimate Christmas present.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Great.
Let's see what happens. Because you know, hey, Winston, when he has a 3 interception game, he usually goes a couple games without one.
Well, maybe he got it. Maybe it was the thin oxygen up in Denver that got to him a little bit and made his arm just a little more jelly-like, and he
wasn't used to it at that time.
He threw those bombs, and this is stomping ground. He should be a little more familiar with oxygen level wise. It's only 2 hours away. And the cold he's getting acclimated to. But yeah, that would really be the ultimate Christmas present for sure.
Speaking of which, did you see the study that the Cleveland Browns released about the stadium, the new stadium? I know, Amelia, in Florida, you did not see this.
Unfortunately, we're dealing with our own Rays stadium that we're not going to get. So.
Oh no!
Yeah. That's a Tampa. Yeah, I'm talking about. Well, the thing that's happening right now. God, 14 carries, 132 yards, 9.4 yards a carry with a touchdown in the first half is Ashton Genty.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't sleep on that kid.
No, I wouldn't either. But like I said, athletically, he looks great. So I just don't see the Browns drafting him in the first round. I could see the Browns, Travis Hunter, or the pass rusher from Penn State. One of those two guys, if we're picking high enough.
If they do good, they should draft somebody from Tennessee because there's a lot of seniors that are going to be graduating.
Yep.
There's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of seniors.
They're ranked number 6 right now, Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Yep, Tennessee Volunteers. And I think if the brackets are correct, that's who Ohio State will play in the college football playoff, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay, but what it was is I did the article about the stadium because the Browns released their study talking about the revenue it would generate for the greater Cleveland area and the jobs it would create and the events it would draw and all these other things. This is a fact. The county came out and basically shot it down and said it was junk, it was biased. Didn't read it. Read it. Didn't even read it. Said it's a biased report. We're not giving any taxpayer dollars. Well, it's not going to come from the county. It's not going to come from the city. It's going to be a bond, probably from the state. Well, two-thirds of it's already funded privately. The last third will probably be from the state, and it'll be generated with revenue as a usage fee when this facility is open. You can't collect that until you open, so you need the money to build it first. So you'll need either a bond or a loan from the state, and you'll pay it back in the allotted time. So is that using taxpayer money, or is that
better not be?
No, that's taking a loan. Probably what's going to happen, but nothing's been official yet. But counties they won't meet with the team. Cuyahoga County is refusing to meet with the team. It's like Daryl Ryder, the local beat reporter for the Browns, reported that, and he's 100% right. Yeah, and I even said the same thing. I said, well, that's not even operating in good faith. It's just at least meet with them, at least talk to them. So they're one side, you have a career politicians posturing, and you got another guy that's multi-billionaire trying to build something, and they're basically making it look like a rich guy's trying to do something. And actually, where they want to build it, it's right across the street from the airport here. You know what's there right now? You know what's there right now? Nothing.
Oh,
it's empty. It's an abandoned Ford factory area. It's nothing. 173 acres of just absolute nothing and waste. You know that stadium that exists right now downtown? 350 days out of the year, it's empty. It just sits on that lakefront. It was built on a 93-year-old foundation. Yeah, and it's basically it costs the city $2 million a year just to keep it up to code of taxpayer money. Yeah, it was built in a rush. It's poorly built. It's everybody with a shred of common sense knows this is the right thing to do, but the politicians don't have common sense.
They don't.
They have political sense. And I said this last night on the Fanatical Love show. I said they're welcome to come on. I'll be happy to sit down and talk with them. Come on this show. I'll look them dead in the eye and tell them you're full of shit. And they know I would. They probably don't give a shit about me. So I live in Geauga County.
I was going to say, he's not a constituent. He's not a taxpayer in Cuyahoga County. Why the hell do we care what he has to say?
Yeah, I grew up in Cuyahoga County, but I live in Geauga
Like, I'm
County.
a resident of the county that would get
you are. You're
the bill. That
County.
would piss me off. I'd be like, Fuddrucker, I'm not paying for this bullshit.
Well, the people are screaming about taxpayer money for a stadium. What do you think's happening now? That's what I'm trying. Do you realize what they're doing now?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're trying to hope in the low information of other people. But
the nice thing about the study that came out, however, I'm always iffy about consulting firms because they pretty much tell you in a very nice, expensive way what you want to hear. However, the nice thing they did is they put the entire PDF is on the Browns website. Like, you could download it and go through everything.
You can read it.
Line.
I actually put it in my article. I put the link to it to my article,
which is kind of nice. But like I said, consulting firms, because I worked in research for about 20 years, and whenever any sort of consulting firm gets involved, we're like, great, this is just going to be a whole bunch of blah, 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 because they paid them a shit ton of money. We want you to say this, that, and the other, to give, put some statistics in here to make us look right. And so, I mean, sure. Okay. I get it. We do. Everybody does want a dome because the weather up here is very tumultuous, but I don't know. Whenever they get some sort of consulting firm involved, it's almost kind of like I got a lot of money, F you, to whoever they're trying to go against. And just,
well, yeah, because the other side had their own study.
Yeah.
And actually, if you want to know the most activity of any of the articles I wrote, there was a guy wrote an opinion piece. It was the Cleveland Plain Dealer, which is also Cleveland.com. His name was Brent Larkin. He's a old reporter, longtime guy from the 70s, put in an opinion piece about how it would be a disaster to build the dome, but had no data or facts to put
it
him
was
up.
just him running.
It was just him, and there was one professor that's been retired for 10 years that said, yeah, it'd be bad. But he didn't back anything up. So I took it upon myself to write an article countering the argument, but I had data and facts, and I went through it. I even went on the show with John, and I read his article. I read mine. I said, what do you believe? And it's kind of like, and I was making all my points. The clicks for that article went through the roof. I was like, damn, awesome. I should do more than that. I was like, wow, that's the most activity I ever had. And I was like, okay, cool. I took a picture of it. I took a screenshot and sent it to John. I was like, check this shit out. So,
you can't fight. You can't fight with the numbers, no matter how they come about.
Well, you know how many Super Bowls we've had here in Cleveland? Not just the team going to it, but just hosting.
Goose egg.
0.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've had in the last 30 years, we've had 3 World Series, right? We had 95, 97, 2016, and we had the 2007 NBA Finals. We had the 2015 NBA Finals, 2016 NBA Finals, 2017 NBA Finals, and 2018. 5 NBA Finals and 3. Yeah, well, the Cavaliers made it to the finals, so that's what we've had. So we've had a lot, but we never. If we hosted a Super Bowl, if we with a 60,000 seat arena, we'd host one Super Bowl. We'd get one. We'd get an NCAA Final Four. We'd get a WrestleMania. We probably would get a Big Ten championship.
Oh, sure, of course, no doubt.
There's all kinds of events that it would host that would just bring it. We'd get those Taylor Swift concerts. They said this too in the study. Yeah, you're laughing because I'm gonna have to take my daughters.
I know.
Oh goodness.
Yes, that's exactly why.
I knew why you were laughing. They said there was 3 concerts at the Huntington Bank Field, which is the outdoor stadium that sits there now. 3 events, I should say. There was SummerSlam. Then they had the Rod Stewart and Billy Joel, and they had the Rolling Stones concerts. Okay, so they had the concerts and everything. 45% of the people that went to those events were from outside of the Cleveland area.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
So they're saying with this dome, this indoor facility, you're talking 65% estimated coming from outside of the area. That's going to draw people into the city. And it's like, guys, it just makes sense to do it. I just like, God, I don't. That's why I said and there's lots of talk about it, but we pretty much we've had other people on the show that said pretty much it's going to happen.
Yeah, there's no way around it. I mean, it's just the way of how things are going now in the NFL with the building, and the only place where it makes sense to have any sort of open air is in, like California and Florida, and
is Hard Rock the Dolphins? Is that open? Is that open air?
Okay. Yeah, it's there's some primarily there's some shady.
I know Tampa Bay. I know Tampa Bay.
The one for the Dolphins is open, but like only for like where the Dolphins sit. It's all shade right there, but where the visitor side
it's the sun. It's the sunny side. Yup. That's
you have to do this when you're watching.
Yes,
Dallas did that too. The old Dallas Stadium, the Texas Stadium, was that the old one where that whatever it was. Yeah. Now it's think about this too. That Mike Tyson Logan Paul fight that happened in Arlington.
Yeah,
that was in Arlington. We could have hosted. We would have posted something like that.
Sure. We could host stuff like that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Like what if there's a big major fight that happens? Like
like they had that big
UFC,
the big one that they had at the Globe.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, a big UFC event or WrestleMania or anything like that. I mean, there's so much they could do and so much it would bring in. So I think it's going to happen.
Possibilities are endless.
Right across the street from the airport. You just imagine all the money it'll bring.
No doubt.
Well, plus the hotels and the revenue. And the thing is, all of our we have a rapid transit system, buses, all the public transportation goes to the airport. So it'll all come there. They'll probably have to do a little bit more
too around that area. A lot of restaurants.
Shops, restaurants, condos. They're going to build a whole complex.
And like what the article from the study said, that there would be the trickle in subsequence of people going in to Cleveland to see the museums and go to Cavs, maybe Cavs, Guardians, whatever. Well, not Guardians, but Cavs games, because of Monsters games. Well, that's our minor hockey team.
Minor league hockey team. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Hockey is one of my favorites too.
Me too. Oh. I'm a Panthers girl. Big time Panthers girl.
Panthers. But yeah, so I mean, I just honestly think that. So we're all in agreement then that the stadium was a good idea, and politicians are politicians. So
I would fly to a game.
Okay. All right. To sum it up, Watson is an albatross. And he was a pain in the ass this year, and we're good riddance. Hey, I don't wish any ill will on anybody, but you know what? It's better off if you go your separate ways at this point.
Sure.
Okay.
It was a toxic relationship, when you gotta pull the plug.
Yes.
I have zero expectations on Sunday, but I'm expecting a good effort.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but
Team Greg
Amelia's thinking there's a lot. She's giving out good vibes, and so is Sherry. All right, and then we're just talking about what the future of the team, what they could be doing with draft capital. I mean, these are shows later on, but I just want to see what this team's going to do building to next year. And it was a shame we lost on Monday night, but it was people were like, "Well, it was fun to watch." Yeah, it was, but we still lost. But I was like, "Yeah, oh my God, we were despite the 2 pick sixes, we were still had a chance to win at the end. It was crazy."
Yeah. This is funny because. Did you see the?
Yes. I want some divine intervention.
I just love hearing him speak, no matter what he says.
He's an easy person to like, big time.
And that being said, Hard Knocks. Did you see?
Yes, I watched it.
Hard Knocks?
I did. I just had an article drop. I watched it. It was very heavy on the Bengals Steelers.
Yes.
Because the Browns played on Monday night. The show aired on Tuesday. They showed some of the Baltimore Eagles. But the thing that surprised me in that Baltimore game, because I was watching it Sunday, was Justin Tucker had a horrible game.
So bad.
Yeah.
So unlike
he's a very reliable kicker. Very reliable. Oh, did I say this? I was listening to. I could say who it was. No, I didn't say it last night. I was watching the ESPN. Troy Aikman. Joe Buck doing the game, and I had one of my earbuds in my ear.
I think I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
I was listening to the watch along, and Dustin Hopkins missed his first field goal attempt. It was like 47 yards, and the guy I was listening to in the watch along was just like eating peanuts. He just goes, fucking kicker. Just the way he said it, It was so funny. I just started laughing. And of course, Christine's like, what? She's like, she didn't know what it was. I said, no, it was just something he said. It was just, it was good.
That is
Fucking
funny.
kicker. Yeah, so I'm going to make sure I didn't scare anybody too much.
On Hard Knocks, this is just maybe a me problem. I do not like the individual they got to narrate it.
I don't even know who it is.
I don't know who it is, but it sounds like a cross between like old school documentarian, like history documentarian, and a nature documentarian. To where
all that voice,
yeah, it's a very like specific type.
Just get Morgan Freeman to do it.
Well, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
and it never ages.
That would be amazing. Or Snoop Dogg, or that would be hilarious.
Jesus,
except for him being a Steelers fan, but he could. I think he could go around that. But yeah, and I was a little disappointed they didn't show more of the snow game. I was disappointed that
they showed
didn't get featured more.
Did you notice that they were watching the film of it and they're trying to figure out what went wrong in the game and everything and what the issues were? Yeah, they were talking a lot about but the one thing I noticed I put in my article, you ever notice when the coaches were talking to the individual teams, did they all sound almost the same?
Yes.
They all sounded very similar. I put that in the article. They sounded similar, but they weren't the same, if that makes sense. Yeah, and that's what I said in my article. They're all talking about going 1-0, taking one game at a time.
Yes, the same sentiment. It's like Coach Guy 101.
Yeah.
Robots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, they're going to go out and say the same thing. It's like, guys, they're saying the same shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Coach stuff.
It was all coach stuff, yeah. Because
what about the guy that dropped all the F-bombs? Did you like him?
I loved him. Did you see that? I guess Tony Grossi, the local one of the local Browns beat reporters, did you see that Stefanski press conference? When Grossi asked him if that was real or not, and he kind of like looked at him, he said, "Yeah, it's not staged." He just kind of went, like, it was just, the way he kind of was like,
yeah, because he was so fired up, but he was saying a lot by saying nothing, but he kept dropping F-bombs, and it was just really fired up. And you see like people, you see like taking notes while they're getting screamed. It was
you gotta fucking do your job.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was very funny.
I guarantee you, the way they were acting, like this is how he is. So it's just like, okay. Yeah. Do you remember the one fact dude when they did the
Bob Riley or
Riley?
Yeah, and his gut would. Oh, did I love that?
Best Halloween costume I ever saw was a 9-month pregnant woman was dressed up like him doing the set hut.
That was so great.
It was a great Halloween.
Yeah, there's a GIF and everything. Every now and then it comes back around, and this man was rotund.
Yes.
And his shirt didn't really fit him.
Oh,
he would go sit. And his whole stomach would rise and then fall. It was hypnotic. It was quite hypnotic.
It's like it's got a mind of its own.
It did. It really did.
But yes. I'm interested in seeing how this goes into next week,
right?
With the Steelers game and the Browns and the trash talk with it's Pickens doing it.
It is.
Yeah, well, it was funny. I saw an article from Pittsburgh for Sports Illustrated, and they said when Myles Garrett won the Defensive Player of the Year, it was controversial. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. no, it wasn't. I mean, TJ Watt went on Twitter and bitched and complained when all he had to do was, "Hey, congratulations, see you on the field." All he had to just show a little
nice about it.
Yeah, but he ran his mouth, and Garrett came out and had a 3-sack first half. I mean, yeah, so. I don't know how that'll carry over into this game or how that'll work.
Right.
And I also just think in the Pickens Newsome, because I guess Newsome talks a lot of trash to receivers.
Well, we're learning new things because whenever they interview him, he seems so like, he went to Northwestern. He's type. Yeah. Well, and then we're learning the real ways of the players, which is always fun.
People were complaining about that draft Andrew Berry's draft. In 2021, the first pick was Greg Newsome. The second one was JOK.
I miss JOK.
Yeah, but he's not gonna play this game. So neither is Cedric Tillman. But think about it. Grant Delpit was in his first draft, and he was a second round pick. And Jed Wills basically played. Jed Wills is done. He's done. Yeah, I think one guy I heard today say he was quiet quitting. is what he's doing.
That's
doing the Gen
good.
Z thing. Yeah.
Just
he's
stop
gone.
showing up.
He's gone. So, but let's see what kind of game we get. Let's see what happens, guys. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts for you, Sherry? Any final thoughts?
Me.
Yes.
I'm going in fired up.
Yeah.
Tonight I'm fired up.
You're fired up about something.
Sunday, I'm gonna be poised and watch and hope that Jameis Winston's, relationship
with God comes through.
Is gonna come through. No pick sixes, and let's sweep them. Let's sweep the Steelers.
Let's sweep the Steelers. What are you saying, Amelia?
I'm going to be watching the game or finding it. I have my son finding the game for me. Say, as long as I don't stand up in front of the TV saying, "You stupid idiot! How could you do that?" As long as I don't say that, we're going to be good.
Well,
you can let it out. It's okay.
You can
That's
it's
mild.
only Friday. That could still happen. That's
right.
Yeah, it's only Friday.
Right.
No, see, my thing, a lot of times disagreements happen and arguments happen. Things happen. And especially if you've been in a long-term relationship or even been married, but you got to do what my wife does because she has a special trick.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever she argues with me, she wears a t-shirt with no bra. And it's really hard to argue with her when she's making two great points.
I was talking about yelling at the TV, saying, "I used to be an idiot. Could you do that?"
Stellar joke.
That was my that joke will be on the Sunday Stew Pot, so check it out on Rumble.
I'm gonna make sure I put that in there.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a reel. It's gonna be a reel.
Oh,
it was gonna be I think there was one I did. We were talking about Yellowstone. And I sent it to Corey, and Corey's like, he had no idea. I just hit him with this joke out of nowhere, where he's talking about the character Rip and how he got the name. He goes, "No, how do you get the name?" I said, "Well, he farts a lot." I wrote that. That was me. I wrote that one. He couldn't stop laughing. It's a great show. Hey guys, thank you for joining us. Is there anything? Let's say, is there anything else? Ethan, thank you so much for commenting. Posh, love you. Brian, love you. And check it out. Let's do it. Sweep will be a great Christmas present. Hey, just always remember, hey, look, I'm going to see you guys next weekend. We're going to be at the Chiefs game.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be cold. We're going to be there, and we'll be there's 2 games left at home this season. Let's represent. Let's have fun. And you know what I'm going to say? Thank you all for joining us. And remember, when the river burns, it always burns brown and orange. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
I have to use the stock music now because it got hit with copyright.